Rising grimly from the heart of Ghent, Belgium, Gravensteen Castle is a brutal, unapologetic monument to medieval power. Its massive stone walls, formidable towers, and encircling moat declare a singular purpose: to dominate, to control, and to punish. For over 800 years, this fortress has served as a symbol of authority, a defensive stronghold, and most chillingly, a merciless instrument of justice, where the screams of the condemned echoed through its cold, damp dungeons. Today, tourists flock to Gravensteen, drawn by its imposing architecture and the macabre allure of its meticulously preserved collection of medieval torture devices. Iron maidens, racks, guillotine blades, and garrotes stand in silent testament to human cruelty, a stark reminder of the horrors that once unfolded within these very walls. But for all its documented brutality, Gravensteen holds a far more chilling legend: the supposed hauntings by the infamous Blood Countess, a spectral noblewoman said to prowl the castle, forever reenacting her gruesome crimes. The central question that Gravensteen Castle forces us to confront is this: is the Blood Countess a genuine spectral echo of medieval horror, or is she a deliberate, manufactured myth designed to obscure the documented, institutionalized savagery that was a daily reality within the castle's dungeons? To unmask the truth of Gravensteen is to peel back the layers of popular fiction and confront the far more terrifying reality of sanctioned torture, the casual brutality of medieval power, and the convenient creation of a monster to draw the crowds. Gravensteen, meaning Castle of the Counts, was built in the 12th century by Count Philip of Alsace upon his return from the Crusades. He modeled it after the Crusader castles he had seen in Syria, creating a truly formidable structure designed to project his absolute authority over the rebellious citizens of Ghent. The castle's history is steeped in conflict, symbol of oppression. For centuries, it was the administrative and judicial center of Flanders, its very presence a constant reminder of the Count's power over the often mutinous city. Seat of justice. It housed the High Court of Ghent, meaning that justice, often brutal and swift, was meted out within its walls. Trials, judgments, and executions were common occurrences. Military garrison. It served as a military base, capable of housing a large force to quell rebellions or defend against foreign invaders. Its design was simple: a central keep surrounded by defensive walls, battlements, and a wide moat. Its beauty was one of raw, unyielding power, a stark contrast to the more decorative castles of later eras. This was a functional machine of control, and its most effective tools were fear and pain. The primary draw of Gravensteen today, beyond its architecture, is its extensive collection of medieval torture devices. These are not mere museum pieces. They are stark reminders of the castle's grim past as a center for interrogation and punishment. Medieval justice was a brutal affair, driven by the need to extract confessions and demonstrate absolute authority. Torture was not an act of random cruelty. It was a legally sanctioned process, a horrific ritual designed to break the human spirit and body. Within Gravensteen's cold dungeons, instruments like these were commonplace. The rack, designed to stretch the victim's body, slowly dislocating joints and tearing muscles. The Iron Maiden, a terrifying, human-shaped cabinet lined with spikes, designed to inflict slow, agonizing pain without immediately killing the victim. The guillotine. While the famous French Revolution guillotine is later, simpler decapitation devices were used. Garrote, a device used for strangulation, often by tightening a collar around the neck. Head crushers, thumb screws, branding irons, all designed to inflict specific, unbearable pain. The presence of these devices within the castle is a powerful, undeniable historical truth. The chilling fact is that these instruments were used here, on real people, often under legal process. The cries, the despair, and the blood that saturated the stones of Gravensteen were not imagined. They were the daily reality of medieval justice. This documented institutionalized cruelty is the true haunting of Gravensteen, far more terrifying than any ghost story. With a history as gruesome as Gravenstein's, it's perhaps inevitable that ghost stories would emerge. The most persistent and popular legend is that of the Blood Countess, a female noble, often depicted as a cruel, beautiful specter who roams the castle's dungeons, endlessly reenacting her sadistic crimes. Some versions link her to Elizabeth Bathory, the infamous Hungarian countess, or a local noblewoman who committed unspeakable acts. This myth is incredibly compelling. It transforms the castle into a Gothic playground, offering visitors a clear, identifiable monster to fear. It provides a convenient explanation for the atmosphere of dread that pervades the dungeons, attributing it to a singular, evil individual rather than the systemic brutality of the age. However, historical records reveal a shocking truth. There is absolutely no historical evidence of a Blood Countess ever residing at, or being associated with Gravensteen Castle. The legend is a modern, manufactured myth, consciously adopted and popularized by the tourism industry. Here's why this myth is so effective, and why it's a lie that serves a purpose. Simplifying horror. The human mind often prefers a singular villain to explain diffuse evil. Attributing the castle as dark aura to a Blood Countess is far simpler than confronting the pervasive, state-sanctioned torture and casual cruelty that was actually practiced there. It neatly packages the horror into an easily digestible narrative. Marketing macabre. A named, infamous ghost, especially a female one, associated with blood and sadism, is a powerful marketing tool. It draws visitors, sells merchandise, and creates an immersive Gothic experience. Diverting attention. By focusing on a fictional individual's depravity, the myth subtly diverts attention from the institutionalized nature of the torture. It allows visitors to view the torture devices as relics of a singular monster, rather than tools of the state that were used legally on countless ordinary people. The Blood Countess is therefore a convenient fabrication, a modern legend designed to capitalize on the castle's genuine, terrifying past. She is a myth created to enhance the macabre allure, providing a named villain where history offers only the anonymous screams of the condemned. If the Blood Countess is a lie, then what is the true haunting of Gravensteen? It is the echo of documented systemic cruelty. When visitors report feeling a sudden chill, a sense of oppression, or even a deep, pervasive sadness within the dungeons, they are not necessarily encountering a specific ghost. They are reacting to the palpable, historical residue of centuries of human suffering. Psychological imprint. Places where intense human emotions, fear, pain, despair, and death have been concentrated over long periods are said to retain a psychological imprint. Gravensteen, as a medieval torture chamber and prison, is saturated with such imprints. Environmental factors. The ancient stone, the dampness, the lack of light, and the enclosed spaces naturally create an unsettling atmosphere, making visitors more susceptible to imagining unseen presences. The power of knowledge. Knowing that the torture devices displayed were actually used in these very rooms on real human beings imbues the space with a terrifying gravity that no fictional ghost can match. The true chilling realization at Gravensteen is that the real monsters were not solitary, blood-crazed countesses, but the mundane, bureaucratic processes of medieval justice. The haunting is the collective, anonymous suffering of hundreds of individuals broken by the rack, tormented by the thumbscrew, and silenced by the garrote, all within the legal framework of their time. Gravensteen Castle stands today as a stark, uncompromising monument. It is a place where the romanticized horror of ghost stories collides with the undeniable brutality of historical fact. The truth is that its stone walls did indeed witness unspeakable acts of torture and cruelty, but these were acts of the state, performed by official executioners and overseen by judges, not the whims of a fictional Blood Countess. The lie of the Countess serves a marketing purpose, drawing visitors while sanitizing the true, broader horror of institutionalized medieval violence. Gravensteen reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not supernatural specters, but ordinary men and women acting within the legal and social norms of their time. It is a powerful lesson in the human capacity for inflicting pain and the chilling reality that true horror often stems from the very systems designed to maintain order. When you walk through Gravensteen's dungeons, you are not treading in the footsteps of a fictional monster, but in the echoing screams of documented, undeniable human suffering. That is the castle's unvarnished truth, and its most profound and terrifying legacy.